I thought our anniversary dinner was supposed to save our marriage. The candles were lit, the waiter had just poured the wine, and for the first time in months, my wife actually smiled at me. Then, a phone I'd never seen before started ringing inside her purse. She froze. I answered before she could stop me. A calm voice said, "Is this her husband?" I said, "Yes." There was a long silence. Then the caller replied, "No, I'm looking for her other husband." My wife turned pale. But that wasn't even the part that destroyed my life. What happened over the next 72 hours uncovered a secret so impossible that I ended up chasing it myself, thread by thread, straight into the office of a man who thought his money made him untouchable. And by the end, he learned it didn't. If you love stories about betrayal, karma, and revenge that actually make sense, hit subscribe right now, because trust me, you don't want to miss where this goes. My name's Colton. I'm 34. I work in financial compliance, which, funny enough, turned out to matter a lot later. 4 years ago, I married Renee. Good years, then rocky ones. Late nights at work, trips she suddenly didn't want to take. I told myself it was stress. That night at the restaurant, I wanted us back. Then that phone rang. Not her regular phone. That one sat face up on the table. This one buzzed from inside her purse. "Is this her husband?" the man asked. "Yeah," I said. "Who's this?" Silence. 4 seconds. Felt like 4 years. "No," he said. "I'm looking for her other husband." I set the wine glass down slow, like moving fast might shatter my whole life along with it. The man hung up before I could ask another word. Renee wouldn't explain in the restaurant, wouldn't explain in the car either. I dropped her home and drove for 2 hours, that phrase looping in my head, "other husband." The next morning, I went through her purse, found the phone, no passcode, one saved contact, Grant. 51 calls in 3 months. I didn't call him right away, though. First, I did what I do for a living. I pulled the call log and checked the number against a reverse lookup tool I use for work. And here's twist 1. The number wasn't registered to any Grant. It came back to a private investigations firm 2 counties over, a man named Wesley Cade. Not an affair, something colder. I called Wesley directly, pretending to be a client, told him I needed background work done on my own wife. He laughed, actually laughed, and said, "Funny, I already did a job like that. Paid real well, too. Guy wanted her marriage exposed on a specific night, wanted it timed." "Timed to what?" I asked. "Didn't ask. Wasn't my business." Someone had engineered that call on purpose, on our anniversary. That's when I found the second contact, buried under notes in the burner phone. An actual name this time, Grant Whitfield. I called him. He picked up sounding tired, not smug like I expected. "Man, so am I," he said, when I told him I was Renee's husband. Turned out, Grant and Renee really were legally married 6 years ago in Nevada, arranged by Grant's father, Halden Whitfield, a real estate developer worth easily $100 million. Renee's sister needed a transplant. Halden covered it, on the condition Renee married Grant on paper for tax structuring. 2 years tops, she was told. Then divorce, quiet and clean. Except Halden kept delaying the paperwork. 6 years of delay. "I wanted out for years," Grant told me. "So did she. My father wouldn't let either of us go. Too useful for his books." Here's twist 2. Grant wasn't the one who called that night. He'd never even heard of Wesley Cade, which meant somebody else paid to blow up my marriage on purpose, and there was only one man with a reason. I confronted Renee that night. She admitted everything, the fake marriage, the 6 years of Halden's threats, her fear of losing the medical funding retroactively if she ever pushed back. She didn't know about the phone call. That part scared her too. So I stopped waiting for the truth to come to me. I went and got it myself. I pulled Halden's company filings, public record, easy for someone in my field. Cross-reference trust structures, property transfers, shell LLCs, and I found it. Halden had used Grant and Renee's marriage to move nearly $4 million through inheritance loopholes, dodging both tax and a pending lawsuit against his company. Renee's name was on paperwork she'd never even seen. If Renee's marriage to me became public and questioned, an audit could unravel the whole scheme. Halden needed her marriage to Grant to look clean, indefinitely. My marriage to her was a liability to him. So he had Wesley time that call, hoping it'd blow up our relationship quietly, privately. No lawyers, no records, just me walking away disgusted and never digging deeper. He picked the wrong guy to underestimate. I didn't go to the police first. I went to Halden's office myself, wearing a recorder in my jacket pocket, and told his assistant I wanted to discuss a business opportunity involving the Whitfield Trust. He agreed to see me in an hour. Big mistake. Sitting across from him, I laid it out calm and slow. The transfers, the shell companies, Wesley's confession. All of it. He smiled that same tired rich man smile. You have nothing that would hold up. I'm not here to threaten you, I said. I'm here because you had someone destroy my marriage to protect your paperwork. So now I'm going to protect myself the same way you protect your money.
That's when he made his mistake. He leaned forward, angry now, and said the one thing I needed. I built that arrangement. Grant, Renee, your entire marriage was collateral to me from day one. I didn't slap him. I didn't shout. I just reached into my jacket, stopped the recorder, and said, "Thank you. That's everything I needed to hear." His face went pale, the same way Renee's had that night at the restaurant. I handed the recording to Detective Reyes the next morning, along with the financial trail I'd built myself. Federal fraud, tax evasion, obstruction, 3 charges and growing. Halden Whitfield, the man who thought money could buy silence with a single phone call, lost his company inside of a month. Grant filed for divorce immediately, finally free, legally, for real. He and Renee aren't villains in this. They were leverage in someone else's game long before I ever showed up. My marriage to Renee got quietly annulled. No headlines for her, no charges. She didn't ask for any of this. She just got caught in it, same as me. 6 months later, Renee and I aren't together, but we're not enemies. Sometimes I think about that ringing phone, how a stranger's voice, paid for by a man I'd never met, ended up unraveling 6 years of somebody else's secret. I didn't get revenge with shouting or a slap. I got it by outworking the man who thought money made him invisible. Turns out, paper trails don't lie, even when the people holding them do. If this story hit you, hit that like button right now. Subscribe, because trust me, my next story is even crazier. And drop a comment. What would you have done if that phone rang at your table? I'll see you in the next one.